Growing up in Canada, Steve Nash developed a unique approach to the game. With his ability to push the pace, combined with his creativity and imagination, Nash earned back-to-back league MVP awards, and he ranks 4th all-time on the career assist list.
Hill is screened. Nash. Oh, Stoudemire, what a pass!
You know, Nash is a very well-rounded guy. And seeing his love for soccer, his love for tennis, his love for skateboarding, those attributes that I've noticed in him helped bring out what was in me. And knowing that it was okay for you to, elaborate in other areas of life. You know what I'm saying? So everything I do now was already inside of me. But seeing that it's okay to actually do it, even though you're a basketball player, just sprung it out of me.
When I seen him play, he was a kid of determination. He would dribble the ball around, all the way around the out of bounds line, come up and make a great pass. I think he was a great playmaker, a great playmaker. And he could shoot the basketball, but the determination for Steve Nash was what I liked about him. He didn't quit.
One time we were playing against Golden State at Golden State. I'm on the bench watching Steve kind of navigate and choreograph this first half, kind of like a symphony. He's like just a maestro right there, just putting the pass. And I'm just sitting there just like, am I really sitting here watching this? Just how he controlled the tempo of the game, it was masterful.
I got a chance to meet Steve Nash in 1996, I think his rookie season, when he was in Dallas with the Mavericks. And he was good friends with my buddy Russ Courtnall. And at the time, Russ told me this guy's going to be the greatest Canadian basketball player that ever lived, and he's going to be one of the best players in the NBA, and he proved us all right.
Steve Nash, I call him a mad scientist.
Nash inside, he got it, and he got the foul.
Because here's a guy that just took the game of basketball and just played it at a level that was just something you hadn't got a chance to see. Not quick, not fast, but the accuracy of the way he shot the basketball, the free throw percentage, the way he went about it. I would say the one thing I used to always say about Steve Nash, I didn't like, lick his hands every time he grabbed the basketball. But that was his trademark, to come down and move his hair back and go out there and win basketball games, pushing the basketball. And I've never seen anybody who have a good career and then from the middle of his career go from a good career to the 2-time MVP. That's amazing, to take the second half of your career and be a 2-time MVP caliber player. We haven't seen that ever, and I don't know if we'll see it again.
Steve Nash is one of your former teammates, 2-time MVP, part of a revolutionary style of basketball. What made him so special?
Well, Jared, there's a lot of qualities about Steve. I mean, I think, first of all, his attention to detail, the amount of time and work he put into his craft. Not just the shooting and ball handling, but taking care of his body, eating correctly, really improving, I think, throughout his career as an athlete, and then also maintaining and having longevity throughout his career. So the disciplined approach necessary to not only be successful, to do it over a period of time. And there was question marks about his health, but he was able to prove that not only could he play and be durable, but he could play at a high level.
How about how he evolved as a player, ultimately getting back to Phoenix and winning MVPs there?
Well, it's a great story. I mean, just from where he started, he was drafted in Phoenix, went to Dallas, became an all-star, and I thought when he went to Phoenix, became a superstar. As you mentioned, ushered in this sort of new style of play, up and down the court, shooting three-pointers, really where it became sort of a point guard dominant league. He really was one of the guards to sort of, start that trend, if you will. But the thing that was really incredible, not just the style of play, the success he had, was just the human being that he is. And with someone who's a 2-time MVP and having all the success he had, he was incredibly unselfish. One of the most unselfish people. It was never about him, even though it kind of was about him, but it was never about him. And if he came down the court 3-4 times and you didn't touch the ball at a stoppage of play, he might say, "I'm sorry." Or if he was taking too many shots in a game, which was maybe how we were going to win, him being aggressive offensively, like he would apologize to you. and selfless, would thread the needle, didn't care about getting turnovers. Just a great teammate that endeared himself to everyone, and guys wanted to run through a wall for Steve Nash.
So we were playing against the Lakers. This is 2010. During this game, I think Steve gets busted in his nose.
Nash took a shot. Once again, this time to the bridge of the nose.
And Steve looks at me, walks up to me, and is like, hey, Channy, like, what's it look like? And I was like, oh. And he just goes, crunch.
He's trying to rearrange his nose.
And just, like, basically puts it back into place. And I was grossed out. I was like, oh. And he was like, oh, don't worry about it. You know, the adrenaline's going. And I asked him afterwards. He was like, oh, man, I broke this like 3 times playing, you know, rugby or something like that. That dude is, for as tiny as he was one of the strongest, toughest guys I've ever played with.